Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates. Inside Story Uganda.
Kumuna Tamale Mirundi. Iranga sigena kubanga mbaruisa ngena kuwanzira jana.
Kakati kugambi nti when Museveni came, yagala to reduce cost ya government.
Yeah.
Na privatizing and take a full minister of privatization. Nga yiruchikaire. Era
ono gwemanye wafe.
Ono mugasi gumita ane mugisha ekimuvumi ya government mute mukimanyi. Ane mugisha ali personal assistant wa Luchikaire ne bamusensalinga. Nali obuuka nagenda mu for this. I know all of these people. Museveni n'ateekawo a full minister of custodian board. Kuba custodian amini bamulimba. These assets were not nationalized.
Yeah.
They were put under a custodian. Nti bali komawo.
But yeah.
Bankambo mugerwa balule balimba amini. Agati Gondi custodian board president nasalawo n'agamba, we are religious people. We are Christians. We are also Muslims. We cannot get a fresh capital unless we return the properties of Indians. I remember the president said, this panic you are having is nonsense because the whole of Jinja is owned by one Indian. Nateka custodian board. Custodian board, President Nagan, no, don't quarrel because the second was a royal of custodian board. Because before, you don't know the background of the second.
No, I don't.
A quarter of Masakapi belongs to him.
Hey.
He is a very rich man. Second decided to take on Indians. Those Indians were paid because Amini could not, Amini paid them their money. President no, we should not talk about legality. Every Indian who comes back and claims the building Mujumu, the quarrel will be sorted out in a court.
Okay.
Kakati I wonder, Parliament yajawo buyinza ate to investigate ebizimbe bya custodian board. Because Museveni had decided the matter. Whoever claims a building, allocate it. Because most of these Indians did not come back.
Yeah.
They're in Canada. I visited them. What one Musajja Omuyindi. The president yali amwagadde nnyo yajja wano n'anoonya president n'amubula help him. Musajja ng'ayogera nnyo. Yamuyinvitingako ng'akola parking akola ki. I've forgotten his name. Ne bampitako ne mu kibuga kyabwe. Ekyo egundi. Bangamba, how did we come to this city? Tianti, Beya Wechibuga Chinaganti, those Indians who are coming to Britain should not come to my city. Kati Baba was Angakoya destination, like your city, they are there.
Okay.
Custodian board. Kakati custodian board, Yatamujidamu Mutia Kasosi.
Mzee Tamale, President Yakola mistake, Yakola blunder, or come to take up representation, Navanga Tunda factories. You have a fool.
Kenya ya Ghana.
Today mulembe gwami.
Kenya China parasite.
Today mulembe gwami.
Yes.
Amini we yagoba bayindi wanene. Nabanga companies of factories are bazi. Obuzibu bali nanti tebayina manpower na skills.
Necho okubiri.
President Museveni wati yagira ati manpower skills.
Abazungu bali tebayinza kukkiriza. I mean its economic to succeed. Why? It would have been taken over by the African countries. Majambero yokumula. Yali asiba mupira ku petrol station ya Kigali. He argued Habyarimana to confiscate Indian properties. That's why he became Hiran. Habyarimana yamubanja sente n'addukayo n'agenda mubala PF nabone bamubanja kyobola bano mbasekerera mbutu wagira opposition yejjeko mu 7 etujja kukolagana naye wa naye jabba waayo. Yes, kakati kugamba the problem the president is having nti two, he found the Indians, the economy which was shattered. Museveni wanted to solve two issues at Yego. Museveni wanted the Indians who has capital and experience to take over their properties.
Their properties, yeah.
Nebakomawo. but abadde babbi
sibe bali original abadde bayaye
original bano bategeera nti Ugandans everybody supported the expulsion of Indians. In my area is only my father who did not take a tata wange teyatwala kintu. The only thing I sat home and my father had the influence like me.
Okay.
We have a family of influential people. Gundi waliwo omusajja nga bamuyita Molodini. Molodini yalina ekyuma kyekalizo bakikuba mu lutalo. Obote nakituddiza bano be bakibbi.
Okay.
Yes. Obote yakizaawo bano ne bakibba.
Ate bokolera bakibbi.
Ne bakibba.
Bokolera.
Naye ekyuma kya Molodini yawataata wange ekitanda nga kinene nnyo bwe kiti. Nga tusulako basatu eno. Kitange yagaana okisulako tikyakisiraani. I was educated in an Indian nursery school. Okumanya abayindi baali bawali taata respect. Nga abayindi bavuga obugaali bwabwe naye nga nze nsobola okuvuga mu kagaali k'abayindi. Nasomera mu nursery y'abayindi e Kalisizo. Because of the correction of my father. Kakati problem Museveni gye yafuna. He wanted to colonize agriculture n'ateekamu abantu bene bagibbe.
Yatugamba genda creating emirimu millioni 7 mu agriculture.
Kakati agriculture nadize ekoze eki.
Wealth creation. Ensigo bagaba nfu.
Yes. Anti nadize nkugambye ti omutamivu toyinza kuuma bbala ya mwenge.
Bwe dasoma list y'abali most corrupt nabo ku list baaliko.
Anti bo be ba suppliers. Baga emwanyi nasale zaabwe. Muwogo bamuleeta enkuba emaze okutonya. Eki. I cannot blame Salim Saleh. He is a soldier. This requires people who are change agents. A person who did mass communication or psychology. Bebayina change agent. Nti odira obukoko n'obuwa omusajja ne bumuvaako tabuddamu. Naddira ente ne bagibba. Ne batava kuba amasasi. Kubanga bo ekibaliko nti enkoko bazibba, ente bazibba. Kakati ekintu kya Museveni bakiparalyzing. Kakati unlike Obote who did not tamper because Kiwanuka tried. Kiwanuka yakwata reserves z'eggwanga n'agula emmwanyi. Naga nti beeyi emmwanyi erinye ku production. Kyobulaba nti bw'ogenda e Masaka waliyo obupikipiki babiyita BSA mu maka bukyalimu from the 60s. Kati Obote bwe yajja naga nti Kiwanuka is investing in Masaka. Because he comes from Masaka. Masaka has lost many cases. Abaitali baali batuwadde isairos nga batuwadde n'ekyuma ekikenula ennaanansi. Kino grapes bakijja yindi. Ne bakiteeka mu musana ne kyatika. Abayiraani bajja ndowooza ne bagenda. Ne good pineapples teziriyo. Kakati Obote n'amugamba nti if we use reserves to boost coffee production, what will happen if we deplete the reserves? Obote naga no. I'm a socialist. Let us allow market going. Kati Museveni ajja atampalinga na agriculture. Nenga talina ba disciples.
Okay.
Nti emmwanyi cooperative zabbanga abantu. That's what I've explained. Crop finance. Yami nateka ko marketing board nti emmwanyi muzigule mwina ne stores Mombasa mwe kakati bwe mulabanga gundi muwendo gusse as government we can to continue production. Kati ababbi ne bajja olaba bali bagambye munetaka olimire mwanyi bamala dikebere n'abali
bamala kuwera isi.
Are you telling Ugandans emmwanyi tuziyita kibooko lwaki? Abaganda bali mmwanyi lwambooko tuziyita kibooko
bwe kiri.
When cotton was introduced in Ankole abanyankole basiga cotton seeds ne bagamba abazungu nti wantamerawo. Abazungu nabo ne babasalya amagezi ne bakuba ente zaabwe ebikato ne zifa. But you cannot tell Muganda nti coffee kakati coffee bamutandika amateeka basempijja kuba balowooza mu monopoly ffe tulina okubeera ne coffee fekka nodire mwenyi z'omuntu n'oziyiwa. Lwaki emwenyi z'omuntu oziyiwa? Gwe zirinde ku store ozimugobye. Oyiwa zaaki? Yiwezange nkubete omuntu mu lujja lwange. Kakati ekyokubiri Museveni kye yakola Uganda ti tackle two important economic factors at the same time. Bali ba parastatals abayindi tebakomawo. The only Indians who have come back, these are sugar producers. Because in our breweries, the rest did not come back. Kakati, instead of surrendering, if government had surrendered the UTC buses to Okuda, what do you need? Cheap transport. Zirimu zibye basi zavanga eno mu UTC nezifulumira mu basi z'Abaganda nga z'abantu balala. Waliwo wano basi nga bagiyita Kayola basi bali bagiyita Kayola nga y'Abachina erina n'eki oba eyo yabulirawo train yali ekola naye kakati train I was embarrassed nti president ne bakulembeze banne babagana okugenda ku red quarters train bagironkingira standard ejirero bagironkingira wasudirwe munyonyi ku kaddole wano waliwo bannannyiniwo tebayinza kugenda kuleero waliwo bannannyiniwo nabagamba nti omuyindi yali agala okukola aninland port ati Malaba namusanga Mombasa nanga nti wamwe sikyadda bansaba millions of dollars oba banjasa omutwe president kakati nkugamba nti Ugandans were involved in the private sector.
Yeah.
What he has created is trouble. Government inga ilimedwa privatization nga tefunye bazeewo makolero ate government yalumba ne private sector. Nti if President Museveni today visits Lake Victoria banks kuba ennyanja eyetololiva waffe Mutukula neyetolola ne Jinja, he will be overwhelmed by the number of widows, the number of orphans, the number of women who have been taken over by his soldiers nga bagobya abavubi mu nnyanja ne bakuba amaato g'abavubi kati mukasa akuma ennyanja ayogera Lunyankole muvuka muto bwati mu Joozi yakuba amaato g'abantu yayavuwazizza abantu. We know you don't teach me anything. I know that even in highly developed countries, lakes are closed. Emyezi egi naye muvuba emyaka 25. This was nabaga nti a mafia misuses a good Museveni's policy to get what he wants. Selfish. Ndi kakati wutoda ngene ne babuuza ono omukazi akuba abantu mu Kampala naye oba oyo omukazi Kisaacha aliddawa because these people gaawe bakisaacha oba baliddawa kuba baawano bote bajja kudduka naye Kisaacha naddira ekisajja ekitemu ekiki ekya KCC nakitwala mu wino kikuba abantu nagulumiza omukazi oyo kubanga bafunayo sente. I have evidence era neewunyiza nnyo azi Kisaacha nga yekukumi bwati gwe bajja kuba wano bamutte n'omutwe bagwasi eri tumwinezi aid ziranga me they have rang me twice nebanga we are not our office is not supporting this woman
kusaba
we have found out is being used by the police and the other people forces in the state council tumwine knows the future Kisaacha tamanyi bajja mukuba wano n'abaana be bulije bafumbi newaabwe tebajja kugizayo kakati nkubuuza nti why do I intervene? I was talking to somebody nangamba tukuwa amafuta nimugamba my question is not amafuta. I'm a political scientist, I'm an activist. If today Bobi Wine stages a demonstration in Kampala, when you have antagonized with other people, when you have antagonized Owino, when you have antagonized in Nakasero, at one time in Nakasero to deliberate abantu ba Musisi to get these people arrested, the leaders of Nakasero. Abantu bomu Owino baagula akatale ako ku ssente zaabwe kakati bano kye baakola baawaaba omusango mu kkooti ne bagusinga ne balimba Museveni nti ssente ez'omusango mu kkooti ate baddiza byapa oyo omukozi oyo Kisaacha gwe Kisaacha ojja kudduka
yogedde ku bintu bingi ku nnaku naye mbadde njaba
the issue kakati kankubuuza you have evicted the people. I was explaining to a PhD man as a researcher ne mugamba nti agirikalisha y'omu Africa tesobola kutambula. Why? Look how this progressed in England. In 1200 AD, there was a black revolt in England. The peasants rose against the landlords. Gambia until the landlords were put to order and they agreed as follows. One, because previously migrated the city we bakwatanga nga bakutema omukono ogwokubiri nga bakutema ogwokubiri ogwokusatu nga bakutta so the tenants rose up the serfs nga bana bali mu Buganda the tenants bani babatuusa ku masengere kakati they agreed. One, those who want to go to the city police go
Okay.
Those who have money buy yourselves. Ongamba otya mu Wakiso nga yiika y'omwakiso egula miliyoni 2 n'ongamba nti oyina yiika 4 nanye ntaka muwe nkukube enyondo mu mutwe nasirekeramu
mzee Tamale ngatuva ku nsonga eno
no president nkugamba
president ogende kubali yatogere ku nsonga ya president yakonyeko
these people after this settlement they migrated to the emerging cities and to ensure that all of those people who migrated the cities were engaged in a productive work. In 1200 AD in England, they introduced the vagabond law, which exists in Uganda today. Omuganda ichita vagalanda, okukwata kirerezi, vagabond law, to ensure that whoever comes to Kampala has a job. Kakati, after this exodus from the villages to the city, many people came to cities, and the landlords remained with the huge chunks of land. This is what we call the fencing system in England. Kakati atemwe ne mu byalo ettaka mulibye n'obubanja mubutemyemu omusajja alina yiika ze 4 yazitereka munanye nettaka muwe ku ngankuwako za
atugamba tagenda kuta wano ikamodo ika zikyali luddawa bandomeka balina ika
no when I go back to my village I cry. Which used to be plantations have been turned into plots. Why? Nanyanitaka. Mbwatwala kubiri. How can you take my land? If I had 5 acres, my neighbor had 5 acres. He divided this land into his children. And do you come to me? Nti obeyika zange biri. Nese kubetenta muntu wabwe.
President yavune naberanga yagambye nti yeewunya okuba nti tukyafulumya abaana abawala ebweru nga bagenda kukola mu busiza bw'Abarabu. Yanaga nti ayagala koppa enkola y'abasajja abakoreya. Naga atala bakuba Korea bagenze ebweru okukola mirimu. Ne president namweza nena nti yetamanyi ensonga lwaki abaana bagenda ebweru okukola.
Nabagamba nti President Museveni is a man with good ideas. But who lacks discipline?
You know what they bikola? What they zikola wane?
Disciples. Buli kintu kyaleta bakibba. Kati katubuuze. Who own these companies?
Ye mwenye nagere they are foreigners.
Ani akulimba.
Gwe yagambye system gye yakoze yeyo.
Kakati President Museveni bw'aba agamba nti they are foreigners. How do we explain the 32 people who are arraigned before the International Criminal Court abawoleza ku Zungu? Are these foreigners? And they are choosing of taking Ugandans abroad and extracting their organs. Are these foreigners? The only foreigners are 2. 2 Chinese, a Kenyan, and a Rwandese. And it is because they were duping refugees. These companies are owned. Tumwebaza aliruddawo waleba. Gundi Bigirimana bwe yagezaako to regulate ne Hajati Mukwaya babajjawo.
Tumwebaza yagambye nti bagala kuba nti bateekawo insurance bonds ku baana bano babenga bali insured. Singa bafuna obuzibu baberenga basobola okuba nti bayambibwa.
Let me tell you.
Before we go there, buzibu kyo businga okuba nti ensonga kye singa okuba nti efulumya abaana bano okuba nti bagenda okukola.
Busiru.
Si busiru. Bula lya mirimu.
No sibula.
Tewali mirimu. Na mbeera mbi enyigiriza abaana.
Uganda Investment Authority has failed Ugandans. How much money do you use to send your children?
Kati obusiru bwani.
Anti bwebu.
Obusiru bwani.
Anti bulira.
Bwaba nayigo no bwa government.
Nsobola mujje mu recording omwana wange mutabani wange. My son defied me. N'agenda mu Labour company ne bamulikulutinga. Sijja kwogera nsi mwe baali bamutwala bati we ya 200. Ne bamubuuza bwe taata we yaali Tamale Mirundi ono omukambi wa ledi kakati katukole bwe tuti genda ne passport yo ne return ticket ne sente ez'okulyayo ogwo okomewo be yalekayo balamu. Mine came back. You cannot change. This is slavery. It's an embarrassment to government. As Kalolo Kurutu praises Uganda for hosting
it is government.
Your own people are voting in large numbers, are living. 400 girls are living, 4,000 girls are living in Uganda every day.
Every day.
As Kalolo Kurutu praises yourself, we are hosting. What will the Arabs say?
instead of president Museveni okuva okuba nti avumirira ensonga eyo lwaki takola ku bizibu ebitwala abaana bano ebweru tabimanyi
takimanyi ti abaana bano abasinga obungi UN yakafulumya report says nti ate mu covid organize alinye ebbeeyi tukolera olukolo nga tumwebaza atuule atubuulire tutuule n'amakampuni ago Museveni ampa assignment tutuule n'amakampuni ago mwana ku mwana tumwebaze bwatadduka
Mzee Tamale ebintu bino bisinga okuba nti bitwala abaana ebweru abaana bakyasobola kubanga basoma
bukedde Kayibanda era ababafiirayo naye Kayibanda naye bukedde neddawo nerimba abantu nze omwana wange nabulya enkwata jambiya yange negiteeka mu kkooti nenumba we yalinyira nyemwe tafumaana kubanga you see bano ate mwana wange Museveni kimukubirayo abantu mu byalo bagamba Museveni is taking our children because these are people who cannot vote him kuba banenye makampuni bagamanyi
and the government is enjoying
banenye makampuni abantu bagamanyi
and the government is enjoying
Museveni yeta gamanyi ne banenye makampuni bagamanyi and they are not far from state house
Adam ekyewunyisa government enjoying $1 million nga lusanga ani bali kuva mbana bane
when you go to Ghana the Ghanaian government gives a visa and a passport for free why because you come back for renewal this is not the case nkugambi nti every government policy is abused by the mafias
okay
yes nkukubira akatambi wano
nejanyo kubire
Pakistan Pakistani ayogera balete simu ya
njanyo kubire akatambi
mu Pakistani wano ngayogera ne minister
tujako bakuluokubiri
consignment yasoka and the Pakistani is in prison was sentenced 7 years in prison and the fine of 4 million people was dealing with the ministers here
Mzee Tamale
nabagamba nejiwano nakyogera nembagamba when Professor Kanyerezi before his death he came to me and left with me with his network a list of doctors he was using nembaga nti my efforts me am happy nibo mutampa sene mutampachi but we have open indicators the women who are dying during delivery and no more we had reached 20 per day accident kubikajjo bya kawolo kubikajjo bya madivan zichafa
accident zaliwo nyawo
to Lugazi 2 doctors from Lugazi before the International Criminal Court no fika salama wapi 2 doctors one from Masaka another from Chitovu ebyo byali bikola artificial abantu abagenzi babakule
accident zali planned
yes so which means the Baganda have a very good proverb that olunatawaka bwalumuziba nyendo nabaga nti when Museveni retires and the new government institutes a commission in his government it will be overwhelmed by the findings
wow gatogera ku retirement agenda kubanga addamu okulaya
intelligence yonna eri fake nabo batrading eyakuba omwana wange si jeno
as you wish him retirement
jeno talirinyako bweru
as you wish him retirement agenda kubaddamu okulayira ngenda kusoma mwezi 12 nenga bino kize n'ebintu bingi okuba nti okulayira kujja polisi yavudde neraga nti nno wano UPDF yavudde neraga nti waliwo akakundi kadisiza okuba kacyankalanya okulayira kwa president polisi n'omukulu yavudde nayogera eggulo enanga owa polisi nalaga nti waliwo abanabyobufuzi polisi wanga tajibwa akadi yaze naga waliwo abanabyobufuzi abantu kuba tibacyankalanya okulayira kwa president.
Where do you find in Africa where the opposition concedes defeat? Will it be in Uganda? Except in Uganda. So am I surprised that when can I come up as a spokesperson of government, of the president, to tell people that some people are planning to sabotage? In fact, you are fueling it.
And what amused me, Mzee Tamale, you're quoting in Songe with a balabang on social media. So social media, you give information of one to police, intelligence.
Bobe nyini beba ine bloggers
aba police
beba byeteerayo
bapanga lukwe
Museveni abawesente
leka nawe
they don't know the impact that if the police an authoritative organ of government if UPDF an authoritative government you have the 12 ban which is threatening the leaders why should security allow its president to come to Uganda when you are not talking about Al Shahaba mwe mubyogera ebyo nga naffe mu Baganda bwowasa bajjajjaabo balemera mu mulyango era Bobi Wine kakati Bobi Wine ayagala ekintu kimu to overshadow Museveni's
swearing in ceremony.
Kyobola nti this is the appropriate time for him okutuuza meeting kati abaprovoking era mukube tear gas kite kiri ignore him. Ignore
before we come to that, police erega njagala kubanga erange scaling up curfew
tayogere
enanga muvuddeko njogera police njagala kubanga scaling up curfew abirenga ddawo kubanga olugamba nti akawuka keyongedde COVID-19 yeyongedde.
They undermine you see is a curfew has a curfew under curfew are people not dying?
They are dying.
Inanga if curfew is helping you you would say, as I'm saying, that because I exposed this human party scandal, the accidents have reduced. Many women are no longer dying. Ekyo kitegeeza ekiwundu nakijjamu amasira. Kati enanga atubuulire nti you give us the statistics before curfew and the statistics under curfew.
nga tuli mu mbeera banayuganda gye balimu economy engeri crippled ate oga nti ozaawo lockdown ne mukwano gwe yavuddeyo Judith Nabakooba n'alaga nti naagenda kubanga government proposal okuba nti ezaawo second lockdown erinnya ndivuddeko government proposal okuba nti baddawo second lockdown. Second lockdown mu kaseera kano munnayuganda yeebuuza waki lockdown yekomawo ekiseera kano nga president agenda kulayira bakuuma kulayira kwa president. Is it linked to that?
Yesterday a newspaper published a story alleging that these police officers have been transferred because of the swearing in.
Kubanga basidinga ne Bobi Wine.
Why do you keep them in the police?
Bugobi.
And you see, inanga. When you see such a story being published, you say no. It is not true that we are changing these people because of the swearing in. These are normal police transfers. And I can give you 10 examples. We transferred on such a date. Was it connected? The media yo ebalwanyisa nti eyagala to overshadow the swearing in ceremony. Nti leading to the swearing in ceremony. Why didn't the police change OCs, Muslim OCs, when the Pope was coming? N'olubuto lw'ebweruti nali mmanyi nti abambute nene baba bagezi nedda mukama akuwa buwi mutwe. You see,
amagezi gava mu lubuto.
Enanga yite honest man. Why do you respond every time? If the newspapers, first of all, me, I did the decision making. Decision making is a whole chapter in politics. What motivated the Monitor to publish a story that is so and so are being transferred, because when will they be trusted? I had it was a practice in Ankole during Obote's visit Heroes Day. All of the opposition people would be rounded up and put in the police cells until Obote leaves. How can this allow? Even these people, the affected police officers would call a press conference. It's not true. We are loyal to the government. We are not partisan. Nina bote bachiraba. Yes. Kati bombi tebachiraba. Aba police bana bote bachiraba. Why do you say that I'm partisan? Kakati, after mentioning my name and putting my photo there, what do I have a future in the police? You understand? I can even sue the newspaper. Where did you get the information that my transfer has been motivated by being non-loyal to government? Because this is wrong. Been ebintu byetagafa abayawulirwako adabe yawakumagezi nasoma logic nasoma propaganda nasoma political science. Every decision in politics is purposeful. And are these the only, those ones, are they, haven't we had, because you would say, we have not been having policy changes since 2 years ago, for the last 2 years. Now, I would ask, why are they being done now? but it is a creation of the media. The media is labeling you anti-government, and you sit down through monitor. Mijiwabire, erete proof. Your transfers were because you are not loyal to government.
Nze Tamale, lwaki muntu afa zivu, lwaki obukubagano bungi nnyo ngatolokera okulayira?
Yes,
lwaki
you know what? Nababuuza ne mbagamba nti if a co-wife stands up in a hospital compound and starts making a noise, does it affect the other wife who is delivering twins?
No.
Gwebera mu lujo ogane oli azaale naye bano bonna banoonya ssente ekisudde gavumenti ya Museveni busuma na ssente and lack of analyzing.
Do you need a second lockdown in Kampala one?
Which one? Museveni yatulookinga netugenda. Nze whenever I see that woman opening her mouth, I switch off my television home. This is, I predicted this in my book, the COVID mafias, that you have flouted the rules. Museveni rocketed this country, took a political decision before any country. And we are not a strong economy. He closed the airport. But these people flouted the rules. Ministers went and brought to people, foreigners, these people took bribes, the immigration officers. At one time, Entebbe International Airport was allocated 100 million shillings to buy sanitizers. It didn't. It took the intervention of Kabasi. Kabasi yasangawo bidomola nga biri empty. Kabasi. There are many ways I don't. You see, Kabasi nakola naye has a good heart. Kabasi has a good heart.
Okay.
But the problem, Kabasi bwe yajja waliwo ajoga government eyateekamu eyiye, waliwo yateekamu government esabutafuge ye era mugenda kukisanga. Members of the first family are going to malign each other, and all of them may end up in Hague. Balwanira busika.
Wow. Ngatumaliza mzee Tamale. Bobi Wine nga wegede yavudde yawandikira banne opposition FDC Jema DP basobola kubanga beegatta mu kaseera kano. Nenga tuolekera okulayira. Kugata kukyalina omugaso.
Nkugambye bw'oli musajja musiraamu muwasa abakyala bana naye do you think ti omukyala ono asooseewo okujjako to control era nabaga nti mugende if I make a research a psychologist nengenda mu makomera gonna abakazi abayiridde bajja babaasede mulimu abasiraamu bakikuliramu. This is Ghana. Ti Ghana bawangula na 1%. They said let the country continue. During Kufuor's time, they also lost, and Kufuor said we shall not go to parliament. No, we go to parliament. But these people, as Bobi Wine is mobilizing his opposition people, they are itching. These people are itching to serve in Museveni's government.
Which people?
Of opposition. Yes. They are itching. You don't have politicians in Uganda. You don't have journalists in Uganda. Bobi Wine, but trade union to Kugamba. When did you stage a strike? Have you ever heard teachers staging a strike during the holiday?
No.
Teachers. When you will be ferret. Abasomesa abastriking abaana bakola ki?
Bagenda kola bigezo.
Omukazi omuganda anuba ku Christmas onogefumbira.
Omusiraamu adoma mugenda ndika kusiiba.
Yes. Kakati you know when government will be ferret, you know when never tubanga kakati ndi mu media as a media expert. Manya when should I release a press release, when should I call a press conference, and I must know. Nti when I make nabo bakimanyi. Bobi Wine tasobola kugera kugundi kutuza press conference nga amanyi nti olunaku olunanga enjogera bakibala
sure
they affect their audience they know it bambaza ate bana abange bwe bakola tumujjawana ojichokotyo jijjako bakubaite nto omutwe kakati nkugamba Bobi Wine has a good strategist amanyi to have two groups the public wants to know did I concede defeat or not? Kati naye apalapala nyayo. Era gwe wootegeerera Mengo is a good indicator in politics. whenever there is infighting in a regime in the central government, Mengo puts demands. Era kyekigikubya bulijjo nti ku 66 Obote yali alwana na Grace Ibingira na Muteesa Mengo newagira Grace Ibingira Obote n'ababetenta buli tugenda mu kalulu Menge wagira Besigye Museveni n'abawangula yita babetenta nimujja kufuna yababetenta kati ku luno kabaka mulwadde irunu ono somebody era alisaka ultimatum they have to give us this billion. How did these assets you are demanding from Museveni, how did they find their way in the hands of the central government? Ti Bobi Wine azanyira ku bana aba security bakolaga ne Bobi Wine nabaga nti nkugambye these people went to the president and told him that Mirundi has crossed the red line. Museveni yabaga Mirundi can't. Era le bali bagenda okwata Kayekola baba gendayo ne babaga nti tasobola Mirundi mugezi tasobola kubeera mu ebyo bakwata Kayekola bakwata kitata bankwatako ndisobola kulya Museveni ruku kuba mumanyi network yayina manyi it will be political suicide kakati what is causing panic in the members of the first family over succession the coming back of Mbabazi the meeting start gentlemen wamate temwatudde ne mwana intinga n'omusika ne muganti ono musajja awedde ne muganti fe tulina okuba muhoozi wakati muhoozi yali mu kkubo naye Mirundi tetujja mutta tye gwe muwulire buwulizi byayogera era baleese naye tebakoowa baleese equipment empya mbutulipero maye spy network spy network kanje bannyonnyole once I subject you to a spy network the beams enter your body toyina kyuma kyoleeta baleeta abachina nembalaba obuchina nga bwoza essimu zaabwe nenseka abayuzi eri ne bajjawo ne bawa omusajja jaketi lepera n'emmotoka eri insulate namukwata nayo n'emmotoka ye nagikwata ne babawo minisona alina omutwe ogumulinga ebbulooka n'agenda e South Africa nalita oguma bwe guti nalita oguma mbugugo guliperinga wapi ne wajjawo omuchina n'ababba n'abagamba omuchina yababba ne bamuwa sente kakati nze mba ndaba omuchina ebyuma byange nga bindaga nti yatuuse dda e Beijing nga bano bagamba mbu yagenze Nairobi mbu alina equipment yeta. Why don't you sit down? As you said, let me tell you, you have failed to understand. Uganda has 4 important factors which these people are overlooking. Before you fight over succession, is the person you are going to succeed dead?
No.
2, how can you succeed a sheikh when you have a record of drinking beer and eating pork?
You can't.
How can a person believe in succeeding Museveni when you are indicted for killing people and extracting organs? They said, we have a green, we are seeing, we are about to overcome this. We are about, our lawyers are surely, lawyer galika criminal, mwakagawa millions of dollars, kumina munana kagala kumina bilika bagambichi. Kakati, two, the American ban. People take, never cover, Ogwanga, Banuba, Gundi, they never did the international relations. Never got the people should rely on is Kotesa, is Rugunda, is Ayevali, and you are diplomats. A diplomatic query. And let me tell you, after the swearing of the president, we are going to have a new type of sanctions.
Okay.
Because who is provoking these Americans? These people, the criminals, abagala okujjako kadaga, abagala okukola ki, boba panicking abagamba. How can we live in a country which we are not in charge? This is exactly what the Americans want you not to do. America tends to kubakkiriza nti mmwe mufule eggwanga lino a den of criminals.
Okay.
Yes. So trying to consolidate yourself nga bujjako abantu. You are provoking more sanctions. Nabagambye wano jjo. Nembagamba nti Kenya has been asked by the United Nations to deploy its forces in Congo. Nabagamba nti NATO was planning to establish a base in Eastern Congo. Kakati boba akugaya nti abannakenya they are replacing South Africa. Nembagamba you are excited about constructing roads in Congo. Who own the land titles? kakati singa sente mwazitwalayo kati amaje ga Kenya kabakirize mukole yengudo nababuuza nti as you people plan to invest mwe mulowooza nti nshikedi yenanyini byapo baba biriki
nga tusibula muzeyi Tamale mubyo mukwano go yabaddeko ne last supper oba last dinner ne cabinet esibula naye panic eryawo abantu buli omwaka tamanyi obaddira mu cabinet empya
nti it is a sword, a double-edged sword. One, if Museveni includes any minister who has been indicted by the international community, it will prove that Museveni is a part of this. Two, a failed woman like Gitutu, energy, those ministers where people failed, never coming out. Coming out abantu mu Uganda. This is the prerogative of the president. Why do you punish a person twice? Kakati mmanyi Kasolo bamulwanyisa baagala emyoga gigende mu president's office mukatumwebaze yaliyo. I can play you tapes nti omuntu omu yakwata emiliki mbagamba nti family members abamuseveni bapanikinze bajja kwonoona ekintu abuuka ku mmotoka gwetta bakwata baali batwala Kasolo bamuvunaana nada egigaalo baali baddidde Kasolo kakati kankubuuza Buked was alleging te Kasolo yatta omuntu. When do you pursue Kasolo? After defeat or before defeat?
Before defeat.
Why do you read their story?
No.
Kati Kasolo bamujemu. Somebody is talking about emyoga. Is emyoga in information. Te Kasolo bali ba falsifying his records. Ministry of Finance. Nakalema mukwati. Kakati bamutandika ebyo.
Wewa, sikena kubanga suko wane ngina kubanga nikizabana Uganda banange.